Hello everyone, welcome to another series of Mind Map. In this series, we are covering the important static portions from UPSC point of view. Today we will cover Polity subject and the topic we are going to cover is Supreme Court. Under this topic, we will discuss about the importance for UPSC, introduction, constitutional provisions, composition and appointment, salary and allowances, term of office, power and jurisdictions, and lastly, practice questions. Now, first of all, let's discuss about the importance of this topic for UPSC. From the UPSC point of view, it is a very important topic and it is currently in news. And it has been frequently asked in prelims 2021, 2019, 2014 and in mains in 2018, 2017 and 2013. Now let's have a look at the introduction. Supreme Court is the highest constitutional court of India. It is also called as the apex court. It was inaugurated on January 28, 1950. Supreme Court is the successor of Federal Court of India. Now moving on to the constitutional provisions. Under this, we will discuss about composition and appointment. Article 124 to 147 of Part 5 of the Constitution. Article 124 is associated with the establishment of the Supreme Court of India, consisting of the Chief Justice of India. All the judges of the Supreme Court are appointed by the President of India, and the removal grounds are misbehavior or incapacity. Eligibility criteria for the judges of the Supreme Court are: he must be a citizen of India, he must have been a judge of High Court for 5 years, or he must have been an advocate of a High Court for 10 years, and he is, in the opinion of the President, a distinguished jurist. A judge of the Supreme Court make and subscribe an oath before the President of India. Now moving on to salary and allowances, article with matter of salaries and allowances of the judges. The salaries, allowances, privileges, leave and pension of the judges of the Supreme Court are also determined by the Parliament. Now let's discuss about the term of office. The Constitution does not prescribe any fixed tenure for the judges of the Supreme Court. Some provisions are provided in this regard. He holds the office until he attains the age of 65 years. He may resign from his office by addressing his resignation to the President, and he can also be removed from his office by the President on recommendation of the Parliament. Now let's understand about the powers and jurisdiction. It can be classified into different sections: original jurisdiction, writ jurisdiction, appellate jurisdiction, and advisory jurisdiction. First is original jurisdiction. Article 131 deals with the original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. This provision is borrowed from the American Constitution. The Supreme Court have original jurisdiction in any dispute between the Government of India and one or more states, between the Government of India and any state or states on one side, and one or more other states on the other, or between two or more states. In all these disputes, the Supreme Court has exclusive original jurisdiction. Next is writ jurisdiction. The Constitution empowers the Supreme Court as a guarantor and defender of the fundamental rights of the citizens. Article 32. They are authorized to issue habeas corpus, mandamus, prohibition, quo-warranto, and certiorari. The writ jurisdiction of the Supreme Court is not exclusive. Appellate jurisdiction. Supreme Court enjoys wide appellate jurisdiction in constitutional, civil and criminal cases. If a High Court certifies that a case involves a substantial question of law, then an appeal can be made in the Supreme Court. Appeal by special leave. This part comes under Article 136 and this provision contains 5 aspects. It cannot be claimed as a matter of right as it is a discretionary power. It is applied on any judgment, whether it is final or interlocutory. It applies on all matters like constitutional, civil, criminal, income tax, revenue. It can be granted against any judgment, decree, determination, sentence passed by any court or tribunal in the territory of India. It cannot be granted against any law relating to the armed forces. And lastly, advisory jurisdiction. Article 143 deals with President can seek opinion of the Supreme Court in two situations. If any question of law or fact has arisen which requires opinion of Supreme Court, the Supreme Court can refuse to provide its opinion on any dispute arising out of any pre-constitution treaty, agreement, covenant, engagement, or other similar instrument. It is compulsory for the Supreme Court to provide its opinion. Now it's time for the practice question. First of all, prelims question. The power of the Supreme Court of India to decide disputes between the centre and the states falls under its advisory jurisdiction, appellate jurisdiction, original jurisdiction, or writ jurisdiction. You can send the answer of this question in the comment section. And now moving on to the main question. Supreme Court is known as the guardian of the Constitution. In light of this statement, discuss the powers of the Supreme Court conferred by the Constitution. So that's all for today. Do share your reviews about the program. Thanks for watching.